Oh. All right, we're back. Busy, busy, busy day today. Nevertheless, this is what we do. We work and we work. When you're in business for yourself, nobody's going to treat you better than yourself. Um, Most people that work 9 to 5s, they look forward to getting off of work. When you're doing this entrepreneurial thing and you're in this entrepreneurial space, there is no time that we get off. We get off when we're tired or the job is done. When you're in your season of growth, let's call it that, right? We don't stop when we haven't hit numbers that we have set goals for. What are we stopping for? Until we're tired. When we physically can't do anymore, then we'll break, we'll rest, and then we'll get up the next day and do it all over again tomorrow. See, it's a shift in mindset. That's why a lot of people think that it's just been that we're doing land, that we're selling land, and it's just the greatest thing ever. Yeah, sure. We all know that selling land is cool and the value of owning land and all of those things. But if you ask any landowner, if you ask any farmer, does this work by itself? It doesn't work by itself. What you put in is what you're going to get out. That's it. Our job on social media is to make this sound and look cool as possible, right? So the message can get out there. But the truth of the matter, as with anything, that's why I always say we're totally transparent, as with anything, because if you're not willing to put the kind of hustle in that we put in, you won't have the kind of success that we've had. And does this work? Absolutely, it works. Well, it doesn't work for everybody. It just doesn't. Everybody don't have the same spirit, the go get them spirit, the same hustle. If you're lazy, nothing works for lazy people, even this. So today, extremely busy day. This is Acre Boy's third live of the day, fourth or fifth post of the day. Because if we're not going to do it, then who's going to do it for us? Nobody's going to treat us better than us. And I have a saying and I have a motto, a mantra. Don't let them out hustle you. You won't out hustle me. And if you do, that means you really have something going on. That's why I have an immense amount of respect for people that are seeing the kind of numbers that they want to see and hitting their target and their goals, because I know what it takes that goes into it. A lot. Takes a whole lot just to get a little, just to move the needle that much. It takes a lot of input. You know how much time has been on the clock with this message? You know how much time has been on the clock with us perfecting our craft and still learning it? It's been a lot. So our Black Friday sale, we released it at 5 o'clock, and we had an overwhelming response, and we got a bunch of DMs that either the link didn't fire off correctly on the West Coast. I believe I missed it. I want everybody to have an opportunity to get it. So as you see down below, it's extended, right? The sale is extended for another hour. We opened it back up. That's why I'm back on the live, so everyone can hear live and direct from me. Because truly, this sale it only comes once a year. That's why we on it so hard today because it comes once a year. If you miss it for the day, then it'll go back to full price. Doesn't mean that you won't be able to ever come and do business with us. It just means that you missed the largest sale that we've personally had. All right. So comment the word sale if you're looking to take advantage of the Black Friday sale. It's over 50% off on our full land program, our tax deed program, our direct to owner program, everything that we have done, all ebooks, everything comes with the Black Friday sale. Access to our 5K club, access to our deal funding, everything that we have is in there. All right. All right. The topic was interesting one. 31 acres for $6 million. 31 acres for $6 million. This is a real deal. Why do I say it's a real deal? Because it's on the market and it's listed by us, right? And it's an off-market deal. And I saw some comments. I put it on. Normally, I don't really put that kind of deal on Instagram or Facebook, but this is a full-fledged business that we're running. So we put the post out there because we do have a large size audience and we never know who's a potential buyer. So use what we have created, use what we have built, because word of mouth is something else. And I don't know who knows who. So we put it out there just for people. I didn't anticipate that I may get a direct buyer from our audience, but like I said, I don't know who our audience knows. $6 million may be out of your budget. $6 million may not be out of your budget. But I was reading the comments, and a lot of people said, "Oh, it's overpriced. Oh, they're price gouging." And I thought to myself, well, clearly you didn't do any homework before you start saying it's overpriced, or clearly you didn't do any homework to say with price gouging. I even had a comment that says, oh, they're always trying to rip their own people off and things like that. And first and foremost, I can't rip you off. I can't make you do anything. I can't make you make an offer. I can't make you be interested in my offer or my property. The name of the game is for you as a consumer to state your price that you're willing to pay, first and foremost. Secondly, it always amazes me because if you go on market looking at anybody else's land, do you contact those people and say they're price gouging? Do you contact those people and say your price is too high? I highly doubt it. So we're quick to heckle our own and expect perfection from us. But I'm going to buck back because I'm not a pushover. And if I put it out there for that price, it's a reason why it's that price at $6 million. Now, let me explain to you why it's $6 million. It's 31 acres for $6 million. First and foremost, the property is in Fulton County in Georgia. Fulton County is where the city of Atlanta is. The property is in South Fulton County. It's 15 minutes away from Atlanta Airport. If you know anything about real estate, it's a hotbed. It's a hot market over there, right? You still might be thinking 6 million in Fulton County, South Fulton, that's expensive. And at one point it was. I say all of that to say that learn how to play the game, and then you will understand how the game and why the game is played the way it is. $6 million right now for this particular property is a good starting point. Why do I say that? Because the name of the game is to get things or catch things while they're in a growth spurt. This property in this area is in a growth area. The area has seen a spurt, a dramatic spurt. And if you knew about it, I'm pretty sure that you would be in ownership of a property or land, whether that's a structure or a piece of land in that area, so you could take advantage of the appreciation that this area has witnessed. So 10 years ago, that property, same 31 acres, 10 years ago was bought for $300,000. 10 years later, it's on the market for $6 million. And this is how the wealthy continues to get rich. by being ahead of the curve. I say this a lot on our lives. How do you get ahead of the curve? By knowing how to research data. By the time you get to it, most of us get to it, it's at its highest point and we miss the boom. That's why we're on here every day telling you to get involved in land investing. Because most of you are going to miss the boom. How do I know you're going to miss the boom? Because 8 years ago, I came in wide-eyed, bushy tail, didn't know what I was doing, but I was fortunate enough to be buying properties for $50, tax deed properties, and I bought a shitload of properties for $50. That's an actual fact. I have the deeds, and I have shown them on these lives. I can show you a stack of deeds like that we purchased for $50 and $100. Couldn't miss, couldn't go wrong with buying deeds at that amount. I'm sure anybody that's listening would opt in their purse, their wallet, their piggy bank, whatever you have right now, and pull out $50 if you knew you could buy a property for that amount. But you missed that. You missed that boom. You missed that opportunity. It's not around anymore. It does not exist anymore. We're late. And the people that taught me how and where to buy them for $50 at, they made an even bigger killing. I was buying mine and selling mine, buying for $50 and selling for $2,000, buying for $50 and selling for $2,500. They were buying, my mentors were buying for $50 and selling for $10,000. You have to get it when the getting is good to get. They don't exist anymore. Why don't they exist anymore? Because at the time, the place that we were buying them from, they had an auction style that you can just go on their list, and it was first come, first serve. And they had what they call a reserve list. Properties that didn't sell in a certain amount of time, they fell to the reserve list. All the smart investors just waited for the reserve list or properties to hit the reserve list, and you could have got them at $50. Why would a county sell properties at $50? Because I've only been saying this over and over, because counties cannot do anything with properties sitting on their books. So when they let it hit the reserve list, that's them saying we're desperate to move these properties so someone can pay the taxes on them. And that's what they did. So once the investors got wind of that's how the game was being played, we all just sat back and we waited for the properties to hit the reserve list. When they wasn't on the reserve list, the properties was $5,000, $4,000, $3,000. But however, if they didn't sell in a certain amount of time, they let them go for $50. And they changed the format to an eBay style auction. What's the eBay style? You've heard of an eBay style. They give you a time limit. Once the time limit expires, the highest bidder will win. And that's the format that they went to, and the $50 properties went away. Had a great run. We had about a 2.5, 3-year run with it, and it was over. So when the opportunity is there, you have to take advantage of it. I'll give you another example why everybody's still thinking should they be investing in land. I'll give you another example of all of these companies that's not thinking, they're doing. When we first got involved, Arizona, I know, I studied the area, Maricopa County. Go study it yourself. Go do a Google search on Maricopa County, and you'll find that land in Maricopa County these days are selling for millions and millions of dollars. Millions of dollars, Ray, for dirt land. By the way, comment the word sale to take advantage of our Black Friday special. 50% off. 50% off. Full land flipping program. 50% off for the next hour. Comment the word sale if you're on Instagram. Comment the word sale if you're on Facebook. So Maricopa County, when we got involved 8 years ago, you could get desert land. It's just desert land. Still to this day, if you look it up, just look it up yourself. It's desert land. It's land that sits out in the middle of the desert. You used to could get 20 acre, maybe for 30, 40,000. 25 acre. That same 20 acre, 25 acre that was going for 30, 40,000 is now going for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million dollars. Why? Nothing's out there still. Why is it going for that much? Because times have changed. Opportunity came to the area, opportunity in the form of AI. As AI grew, these data centers, they needed to be placed somewhere. Where could you find large acreage at? The middle of the desert land. That's where they can find large vacant areas at to put these data centers at. And over the last 3, 4 years, they just been buying it up for AI. Huge companies, 20 million. Don't listen to me. Go do your own research, do your own homework, and I promise you, what I'm telling you, you'll see word for word, verbatim. And that's how the game is played. So once again, there's a group of people or a set culture that just be so distracted that they just don't pay attention to what's coming next. By the time you get to it, too late. It's in the mid millions, in the upper millions. You can't afford it at that point. So we're telling people, focus on rural land, focus on rural vacant land, learn how to play that game. Why? Because that's where the money is at. Why? That's where the future money is at. Your areas, your city areas that you sit in, most of you can't afford to invest even where you live. Just the facts. And I said the word invest. I didn't say live. There's a difference. Who cares where your money comes from when you're investing? Do you care where your money comes from if it's an investment? See, we hear rural vacant land, and the first thing that comes to some of our mind is, I'm not living out. Well, you don't have to live out there, but you can invest there, and you should invest there. Because most of you won't be able to afford major city properties. Most of you, over 90% of you. That's just the facts. And we do all right. But if I had an option to play in the middle of a hotbed and deal with those prices, as opposed to dealing with a rural area 2 hours away, I'm gonna choose the rural area because I'm gonna probably get more deals out there. So you're fighting for one deal in this hotbed when I'm over here and I'm on my fifth and sixth deal. So the money most of the time is equal, equivalent, or more over here in the rural department. So that's the game. And that's how it's played. So this 31 acres for $6 million, it has increased in value because now they're moving on the area. It's in close proximity to the airport. They're building a hospital. It'll be the largest hospital in the county, right? They're building a hospital 10 minutes away from the property. They're building a $400 million complex 10 minutes away from the property. Walking distance away from the 31 acres. They just built a subdivision with 80 homes, 80 brand new homes. Adjacent to the 31 acres, there's an existing subdivision with an additional 100 homes, right? They just put infrastructure under the ground in the form of sewer lines. Anytime they start doing this, it's for a reason. And this is how you take a $300,000 property and watch it spike up to a $6 million property. So once the property sells, instantly, this property owner, millionaire. Just like that. And they're still living on the property. This is a close friend of mine, still living on the property. So this is his home site. So all he did was just live on his property. And he bought in the right area at the right time. Now, if I put that on paper and I ask any of you, would you live here for $10 million on this 30 acre when nothing is out there, right? Nothing was out there at the time. Property was on the dirt road. Would you live here if you knew that 10 years later, your $300,000 buy would be worth $6 million? Now, most of you are going to say, the way I frame that, I probably would. But really ask yourself if you're really about that lifestyle. Because it's easy to say things. So are you really about that lifestyle? Because if so, then you should take advantage of this Black Friday 50% off sale if you're really about that lifestyle. Because that's what you have at stake to lose. Right now, you can go into a rural market for prices that everyday people could afford and just pick the right one. And this same thing will happen all over again. All over again. It's about timing. It's about positioning. It's about studying the data and knowing what the growth patterns is. It's about knowing what's coming next. In that same area, Starbucks is there, just got there. Maybe now they've been there a year. In that same area, Dunkin' Donuts is now there. In that same area, Chick-fil-A is now there. In that same area, McDonald's is now there. Why do I mention those places? Because if you know a little bit, just a little bit about a little bit, you'll know that those areas, they don't come to areas unless they have a certain amount of traffic. McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, they will not put a new structure in the area that doesn't have a certain amount of traffic. They need something like 1 million cars a day that pass their storefront in order for them to consider putting a structure there. How? Now, what does that say? If these major companies are studying the data, why aren't you? And that's something that we teach, to study data. Don't try to figure things out. Just do what the data says to do. And it'll let you know where to go next. See, we're wrapped up in emotions about how we feel about a place. But from an investment standpoint, there's no emotions involved. Just do what the data says to do. Congratulations to everybody that has taken the Black Friday special. I do have to say that because I have an immense amount of respect for action takers. Some people sit around and watch things. Some people make things happen. And some people just say, what just happened? Black Friday? Is it Black Friday? That's what some people say. I didn't even know it was Black Friday. I thought it was Red Saturday. So everybody that has opted into the community, welcome to the community. But here's the truth about that. It's truth time. Here's the truth about everybody, because we had a lot of people coming to the community today. Here's the truth about that. Not all of them are going to win. We've been down this road before. I wish the best for everybody. The beautiful part is we all have the same opportunity. The teachings are the same. It's not like every participant that came into our community, they're getting isolated teachings. Oh, different teachings. This one's getting that. No, they're receiving the same education. Just like when you go to school, you're getting the same educations. But the truth, the cold hard facts is everyone won't be successful. Why? Because everybody's not built to be successful. Everybody don't have what it takes to be successful. Just the truth of the matter. As I stated, I've been working all day. Most people, they're so trained and conditioned and programmed to, once a certain time of the day comes, tapping out. You're on that Monday through Friday mind frame. I'm on that Sunday through Sunday mind frame. I'm on a different time. I'm on that get it done or don't stop until. When's until? I don't know. Until I hit the goal. Until I'm laid up on the beach somewhere and somebody else is working for me and the machine is still going. Like I didn't leave. That's my until. I don't know what your until is. And in order for me to get to that point, I have reprogrammed myself to think like that. It ain't nothing but a little work. And we were doing tax deed investing because I started as a tax sale investor. I would go to work, then I would get off from work, and I would go straight to a list. And I would comb through as much as I could on that list because I did have to get up the next morning. And then I would do the same thing the next day. Then I would do the same thing the next day. Then I would do the same thing the next day. I knew everything that was on the list. I knew what was good. I knew what I was waiting on because remember I said I was wait till it dropped down into the repository list. I knew everything that I was waiting to try and get. I knew everything about the area. I invested so heavy in that area that I've never stepped foot there, but I felt like I lived there because I knew what side was good. I knew which block was good. I knew what side has the comps. Just a little work, but not everybody is willing to put in that type of work. It's like the gym. Come January, gym packed. Come February, gym empty. I don't know why people do that. And then for the rest of the next 10 months, they're complaining about their weight. Well, why you stop going to the gym? So they do the same thing. How you do one thing is how you do everything. They take programs, they buy courses. They're excited for the first month. Come second month, the excitement goes down a little bit. They didn't get a deal like they thought they would make $50,000 in 30 days. It didn't happen. Then they're ready to tap out. They on to something else. Don't let that be you. Won't you be one of the ones that come and say, I'm sticking with this until it works? Because that's what the other investors that have had success, that's what they did. Until it works. Now, your success may be a month. Your success may be 4 months. Yours might be 5 months. I don't know what your schedule is. I don't know how much time you have to put into it. But today is Black Friday. We have an extended Black Friday sale. We extended it, especially for my people on the West Coast time. We got all the text messages. We got the emails, the DMs. We extended the Black Friday sale. Take advantage of it. Comment the word sale if you're on Facebook. Comment the word sale if you're on Instagram. Take advantage of that. I like that one. Give me riches. You gotta get focused to stay focused. That's right. All right, and that's our day. And we'll be right back at it tomorrow. Work, and more work, and it'll be like that. 365 days. 2 posts a day will go up on social media, whether we feel like doing it or not. It will be there. And you can do it. You could become a land investor today. You can be a successful land investor. If you're reachable, if you're teachable, if you have a white belt mentality, knowing that you don't know, but you're willing to be trainable. All right, so I'm not going to drive that home too much more, but that is how that property went from $300,000 to $6 million. Let me see if let me show you if I can show you that property. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen for you. I'll show you an overview of the property. I think it's loaded. That's the property right there. 31 acres right here. You know what you're looking at? That's the question. Is this a good piece? If we were training, I would ask you that. Is this a good piece of land? What makes it good? What do you see? What's the first thing that stands out on this image? What should you be evaluating on this image? Because we do. Our first stage of due diligence will be virtual from a virtual standpoint. We don't go to properties. This is done virtually. So what are you looking at and what makes this? I've told you that this was a good piece, but this is what we do inside of our trainings. We look at properties. I ask you those kind of questions because I want you to be trained at what you're looking at, and I want you to be able to look at this stuff rather fast. I tell you, first thing that you see that's good. You see this here is it has road frontage. That's the first thing. That is what road frontage look like. There's a road that's directly in front of the property. The property is right here on the left side of the road. You can see that on the frontage of the property is cleared already. That's also a good attribute in some regards. To the back of the property, you can see it's covered in timber. That's also a good attribute. What kind of timber? We don't know yet. I know, but you wouldn't know if we were evaluating the property. So, but timber value is another thing that boosts the property, the equity of a property, right? So that's the property. That's the 31 acre that's on sale for $6 million. If you know a buyer, send them the Acre Boys way. We do give commission for people that bring buyers our way as well. So last but not least, we're going to close out. Take advantage. Black Friday sale. Black Friday sale, 50% off, over 50% off. This is the best price that we have offered all year in 12 months. So now is the time to take advantage of that. If you ever were considering to do some business with the Acre Boys, it's a great time to save yourself some money while doing business with us, because it is over 50% off and the night is coming to a close. So we're on here and we're pushing to get the word out to many as people as possible. Once again, congratulations to all of those that have already joined our community today. We will be training live next week. In fact, we'll be live next week inside of our community. We go live every Tuesday. Tuesday, we do a mindset call, right? If the mind isn't right, then finances won't be right? Then Wednesday, we do our training call with all of the members of the community. Got a nice size room that's usually on that call, but no worries. You'll come. Well, the ones that's in the program, you'll come, you'll meet everybody, we'll train, we'll look at our deals, we'll look at your deals, we'll strategize, and we'll answer and help any and everybody that needs help on that call. Congratulations once again. You could be the next. Comment the word sale if you're on Instagram. Comment the word sale if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, just leave a comment as well, and we'll see it and we'll get to you. Otherwise than that, if you're getting ready, what's tomorrow? Saturday. Oh, it's a Friday. Y'all made it through. It's a Friday. I don't even know what day. I just know it's Black Friday, but I'll be working again tomorrow, so it doesn't really make a difference. For me, this is not a weekend that's coming up. I'm Sunday through Sunday. That's the type of time we on. Not Sunday through Friday, then the football game. I don't even know who's doing what with football. Shift of mentality. The football players ain't checking for you. I'm just saying. They ain't checking for you. And they making all the money. We ain't gonna even go there. What do you think about it? Oh, somebody said, what do you think about land in Mississippi? OMG. I've bought and sold the most properties in Mississippi. Made a lot of money in Mississippi. That's what I think about Mississippi. A lot of money in Mississippi. I don't have to live there. I don't have to go there, but I have made a lot of money in the state of Mississippi. And more importantly, I've been playing in Mississippi the past 6 years, and I haven't even made it halfway through that state. So I'll be trying to, there's so much opportunity. I haven't even made it halfway through Mississippi, and I've been there for 6 years, and I made a lot of money in Mississippi. I made a lot of relationships in Mississippi. So that's what I think about Mississippi. Before I get out of here, let me just see if I have any questions that's in the chat. All right, y'all. Enjoy your Friday. You made it. Thank God for Friday, TGIF. She said, "Do you lease and flip?" No, we don't lease and flip. We buy and flip. That's the difference between us and wholesalers. Or I don't know what other people do, but we buy and flip. If we want it, we buy it, we own it, then we put it on the market. We have full control of our deals. All right. Enjoy your evening, y'all. Peace.